Alrighty, time for another Through the Omenpaths pick 2 draft. I see Physic right away. The card's pretty neat, and I was hoping to get a chance to play with it again. So it's 3 mana for 2/3 Vigilance. You can tap it to put a +1/+1 counter on each artifact, creature, and/or vehicle you control, which it happens to be an artifact creature. And then you can pay 2 and remove 2 of those counters to draw a card. So that's pretty cool. So, vehicles in this format, you have the Vineweaver Chariot, and you have the 3/3 that gets +1/+1 for each spider you control. So those both kind of point you in the green-white direction. Diligent Webkeepers is very, very good. There's also a City Pigeon in this pack, and I think I'm just going to be optimistic, right? Grab the pigeon and maybe we live the dream and just get the green-white deck with also some vehicles. That's the word I'm looking for. I like got a little sunlock there because I was like, oh, well, there's the Remorseless Coup. That's the first card I saw. And I was like, well, I don't really, Remorseless Coup and Ozor, you know, those, are very good in the blue-black villains deck, which is the other good deck of the format. We have Zan here, though, an Opulent Valet, which isn't great, but it is a good in web target, or I should say it is an in web target, and it does combo well with physics. So I think you could make an argument for taking the Q and the Ozor and expecting to maybe table the Enforcers and then have some bits of a good blue-black deck. But based off our first picks here, I'm not ready to give up on the green-white dream. So Arachnologist is good. And then we could probably just splash Dreadfang, I suppose. Aerialist is also good. Which Aerialist is obviously better in blue-white than green-white. Not just the mana symbols being the reason, but also just the blue-white tends to have more of the modifying stuff. But I think I'm happy to take the Arachnologist and splash the Dreadfang. And then, who knows, maybe we get some late Deathflame Bursts or something that we also want to splash. This thing's not that good. Estly, 3/4 flyer for 5, and it jumps something when it comes into play. I think I will take the Deathflame Burst since we're already talking about splashing Dreadfang. Lurking Lizards isn't amazing in the green-white deck, but there's a chance that maybe we end up playing green-red big stuff. That tends to be a little more open, and we have Zan and Dreadfang, so maybe. Crime Scene Instructor is fine. Temple Trap is probably the other pick here. Not a great card. I guess actually I could have switched the saddle, but there's a saddle there. I was going to say I knew there was another one and I wasn't sure if that would come around, so we'd probably be able to get a saddle if we wanted one. Data Scrubber is not that great, so Villainous Wrath. So all the more reason to look back and lament the fact that we did not grab the blue-black cards. There's a Scorpion Sting and an Ozor in this pack as well, but that's okay. We've got Rouse the Swarm. And then there's Basil, there's Gallant Citizen, Favorite Fighter is okay. So how good is our white? Not very, right? Lively Leap is whatever. The Saddle is whatever. Crime Scene Instructor is whatever. So I'm definitely taking Rouse the Swarm, and then I was considering maybe taking Favorite Fighter instead of the Basil. Hopefully we wield a Savage Mansion. But I think Basil is good enough that I'm gonna go ahead with those two. I'm still not sure if we're... Well, that changes things a little bit. Wow, and Through the Omenpaths. I was about to say I'm still not sure if we're green-white or green-red. But Xecau is obviously a fantastic green-red card, and then Through the Omenpaths, which Through the Omenpaths does kind of want you to have some cheaper creatures so you can convoke it out faster, but happy to take that. Goblin Bombardment is interesting. I didn't know that was on the bonus sheet. There's the Spider Coach that I was talking about, which, you know, is fine with Physic. But okay, I'm going to take these two, and we are going to be playing green, red, big stuff. So I'm going to cut the white cards. We're definitely taking Deathflame Burst here. And then, so I can make a consideration for Tree Trolley, which is ramp and the food token is nice. Or Scout the City is also good. Galvanized Workforce is okay since we're playing big stuff. This is the deck that kind of wants it. And actually just having a 2-drop in a deck like this is probably something that we want to do, right? Galvanized Workforce I don't think is a terribly good card. But it's a 2-drop that blocks some stuff and can ramp out through the Omenpaths. So, sort of surprised to see this being the leftovers. Romantic Rendezvous, I guess. And then I guess the 2/3. Like, this card is not very good, but I don't think we're playing Gallant Citizen as a... Well, I mean, maybe we play Gallant Citizen as a double green card. We do have Zan. Yeah, this Warden card just kind of sucks, so I'm going to speculate on the Gallant Citizen. Full Throttle Fanatic, also not a very good card, but at 3/1 for 2, it does trade well, and it is just another card that can convoke out through the Omenpaths. I guess another benefit to Gallant Citizen is if you get through the Omenpath in play and then you attack, and that's the best creature you have to put in play, you at least draw a card with it. I don't know if I want the Spider Coach or not. Probably not. So obviously the Spider Coach is pretty good with Physic, but we don't have many spiders, so happy to take another Arachnologist though. And I'm happy to get the Scout the City as our last card. So one thing to note though, Arachnologist doesn't actually ramp out through the Omenpath, right? Because you can either tap it to Convoke or tap it to create mana, and either way it's the same. Anyway, this pack is quite good for us. We've got the Archivist and Trail of Teacups are both very, very good cards. So this thing, you mill 5, and then it does damage equal to the greatest power among creature cards in your graveyard to something. So we have some high-powered creatures, so hopefully we kill something with that. And then you give something +2/+2, and then get a creature card back. And then Perilous Lunge is good. Maybe we see that table, who knows? But happy to take those two. There's a Clutter Cluster, which is good. And then what? So the String Puller does not have reach, and it looks like it should. We could take Favorite Fighter. Lava Brink repels the Magmaloth is not a real card, right? No. So I think we take the 4/4 Makes a Treasure over the 4/3 Mayhem, right? We've definitely burst that are Mayhem cards, but we have nothing to discard with. Razorkin is certainly a card that we want in this deck, right? This is one of the payoffs in the red-green big stuff deck. And the Caracals is just another good early 2-drop. So the question is, do you play Physic when it's your only artifact creature? Because I don't think the Valet is making it at this point. Another Clutter Cluster and another Arachnologist. And what is this pack? Clutter Cluster, Arachnologist, Razorkin, and the red-green land. We're not getting any of this back. Wow. Definitely, I think it's those two. The Arachnologist is close behind, though. Wow, what a pack that was. Okay, we're not playing any of this, I don't think. I don't know if a single String Puller makes it in, but I guess there's a non-zero chance. Alright, so we've got some cuts to make. Need to cut 7 cards, eh? We definitely have some not great cards. I don't think we need to speculate on a double green Gallant Citizen when we only have 1 in web. Alright, so we can cut that. Clandestine Work really was, I think that was just one of our last picks that just got stuck in there. Alright, what do we got for spiders? Probably a decent amount. Excuse me, 5, okay, that's not too many. So Rouse the Swarm isn't that great, right? So it would be 4 mana for a 3/2. Rouse the Swarm is a very good card, but One of the things we're looking at maybe cutting is Physic. We only have 5 spiders, so that is effectively our 6th spider. Okay, we're definitely not playing 3 of those. I don't know if we're even playing 1 of those. I think the answer is no. The card's just not that great, and our other 2 drops are more serviceable. Although Clutter Cluster is not exactly a 2-drop. You would rather be in webbing it, which I guess, you know, Rouse the Swarm. We have this that is possibly 1 card that makes 3 spiders, so that is a swarm we'd certainly like to rouse. Okay. So removal, we've got the 2 Deathflame Bursts. I think we have to keep the Temple Trap in, because we just don't have a lot of interaction. Trail of Teacups as well, I suppose. And the Selesnya Archivist. I'm going to cut the spider, the String Puller, even though it is a spider. I think I keep the Rendezvous. So I don't know, maybe... Well, we're weak to flyers, so I don't think we could scout the city. I mean, we're playing cards that aren't very good, right? Like, Temple Trap's not that good, but we have so little removal. I think we want to keep all of our 4+ mana spells, since we do have some 4 or more mana payoffs. So with that in mind, I think maybe it is the Rendezvous that gets cut. The other thing to cut maybe is Physic, right? Because Physic is just being played as a 2/3 Vigilance. It's a 2/3 Vigilance that gets a +1/+1 counter every turn. So I guess that's fine. I think I'm in the camp of you play Physic even if you have no other targets for it. All right, so yeah, 9/8 is fine. Maybe it's even 10/7 here. Yes, I'm thinking 10/7. The only thing that was giving me pause, obviously our deck is incredibly green heavy, but Deathflame Burst is a card that we were very often going to want to be able to play on turn 3. And we do have the 1 double red, but obviously Xecau is usually coming in very late. This is a perfectly reasonable hand. We have Workforce and Arachnologist. We have good mana. Temple Trap to kill a thing. Okay. Caracals are fine, but I think we're still just playing out the Workforce, so it's going to be Workforce into Arachnologist. Excuse me. Okay, I'm definitely fine with that getting Scorpion stung. So next turn we can play Temple Trap if we need to. Excuse me. And in 2 turns we get to run out. Or not 2 turns. For some reason I always think this is 6 mana. It's 7 mana. It doesn't matter because they're shrouding my dude. So they've so far used a removal spell on my 2-drop and my 3-drop, which I'm not upset by. It does allow them to keep attacking with us Enforcers, but if they attack, I'm not trading. Since if all we have to do is leave up 3 manas, all we have to do is leave up 3 mana, and then the Caracals becomes a good. Why are they not attacking? They really love this Merciless Enforcers. So I could Temple Trap and kill the Surveyor, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Oh wow. Alright, so I think this turn, I'm just leaving the Caracals back because it blocks either their creatures once I pump. And then next turn, I'll maybe burst the Enforcers and then have mana to pump the Caracals if I want. Remarkable Readings. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. If only this destroyed creatures were artifacts, or enchantments or artifacts. Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that was a good card for them to draw. Oh boy. I guess I could have Temple Trapped the Steel Webs. I should have Temple Trapped the Steel Web Surveyor, I think. Would have given them 1 less. But I'm still doing it, and then I'm gonna burst their enforcers here. And then they can turn one of their dudes into a 4/4. And maybe I trade that with the Caracals. Probably, if all they do is pump one of these guys and attack. Okay, Zora's not that scary. Although it turns their guy into a 5/5, right? It's +1/+1. Alright, maybe that is kind of scary. That's unfortunate. No? Okay. So we go to 4. And next turn we're going to have to chump that with the Caracals because we're going to... Well... No, that's not true because this thing has vigilance, right? Yeah. Alright, well, no blocks. So Xecau does put a stop to a lot of this nonsense, but... And they have no cards in hand, right? So we just have to hope they don't draw a removal spell for Xecau. And then we are in okay shape. Next turn we can play Tunnel Web Explorer, rather, so we draw another card off of Xecau. Alright, I hope they just drew a land. Let's go ahead and get the Tunnel Web Explorer out there. Question is, do I want to attack with the Caracals as well? And I think the answer is yes, right? We need to... Ooh, that was a good draw. We need to keep the pressure on, right? No, but being able to play another creature to block, and then next turn being able to play through the Omenpath, and then be able to draw a card off Xecau because of that, and Omenpath something into play, is huge. So what are they on? 5 creatures now, so they can make their thing a 6/6, or this they could make. This is only as a sorcery, right? Phew. I'm gonna do it this way. Wait, should have just clicked autopay. All right, I'm gonna do it this way. I guess I do have to play my land, right? That's okay. Not the best, but whatever. We're attacking here and here. Question is, do we attack with Zen as well? So we have 2 blockers now. So even if they have removal... Yeah. I think we want to go max pressure in this. And then if they trade there, that's fine. We're not pumping the Caracals if they block, because we would have to tap the Arachnologist to do it. Okay, they're not doing that anyway. Good. Okay. Happy to trade off there, because then that shrinks, you know, what they get from the remarkable readings. Game was looking rough when they played that, and we needed them to brick a couple draw steps, and they did, and getting Xecau out there and through the Omenpaths was huge. So, alright. Yes, I did have fun, because I thought I was going to lose, and then I won, and that is a good feeling. Wonder what the general consensus is on that whole little survey thing. I am not a fan of it. Because I feel like it's just a net negative, right? Because like if you just lost a game in annoying fashion and you're tilted, then that just rubs salt in the wounds. But seeing that in a game like that I'm happy because I won and I thought I was going to lose. It didn't like make me any happier or anything like that. This hand I think is worth keeping on the draw. We've got Caracals turn 1 and then into Arachnologist. We drew a mountain, which is good. And now we would like to stop drawing lands. Well, let's see. So it'll be Caracals into Arachnologist into our favorite fighter. So we are curving out. Actually, I guess you probably want to play Razorkin, right? On 4. So that, I'm not trading. So that we get the value off of the favorite fighters, so. Well, if I knew they had Sarn, then I would have traded. Excuse me. Oh, I should have attacked first. That was really dumb. I missed 2 damage. I was going to start talking about next turn, so now we can play the Razorkin and the Lurking Lizards if they don't do anything to my Arachnologist. Alright, they're already double creaturing, which is really annoying. Okay, so If I attack with the Caracals, we get in for 2. If they do choose to block, then we pump. So the only thing is if they double block and then we have to pump to kill Gororel and the Clutter Cluster, that's probably worth it. Okay. That's fine. And then we'll play the Lizards. So obviously that means we don't get Relentless Razorkin out this turn, which I kind of wanted to, that and the Lizards, so that we could play Favored Fighter next turn. But I think 2 for winning them is worth it, especially because now they're going to draw another card. Yeah, so we're trying to stay ahead on, or not ahead, but at parity on cards. Oh, let's see, no blocks there. So we're going to have access to 6 mana. Let's scour the city, huh? Unfortunately, none of their scary stuff flies. I think I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Not expecting to see any terribly frightening flyers out of them. So I'm going back and forth on if I want another Razorkin or Physic, and I guess it's Physic. I'm again delaying the Razorkin in the Favored Fighter play, but Physic is a good, ends up being a good blocker for their ground threats. That's going to grow, and I'd rather get that growing sooner rather than later. Now, of course, they could have, they have Red as well. So there's any number of removal spells that they could have for Physic, of course. Excuse me. So, if I triple block, then even if they pump, it trades 1 for 1, and they have to pump to trade 1 for 1, which would be good for us. If I triple block, there's just too much they could have. If they had the +4/+4, and they pump it, then we just get 2 for 1. If they pump it in Spectacular Tactics, that's 5, so that's not enough. So it would need to be the +4/+4, because a removal spell doesn't blow us out. And if they have the +4/+4, then it's a 2 for 1, and they take my Arachnologist and my Physics. Alright, I've talked myself into it. We could get blown out here. The worst case scenario is they have the +4/+4. Actually, I guess the worst case scenario is they have the rare Indestructible, put a +1/+1 counter on it for each damage it takes. But if that's all, then this is fine. Because it's the Caracals for the Physic, which is, Physic is a better card, but it also costs them half their mana for the turn, which makes them less likely to be able to double creature. Okay. I see we're done being serious. Okay, so we'll play the Razorkin and... I guess I Archivisted? I don't have anything 4 or greater in my graveyard yet. Yeah, so I'll play the Razorkin and Archivist their Quint's Insight. Yes. I'll be honest with you, that is the first time I resolved that trigger in this format, because I don't usually play red. This is my first time playing this archetype, I guess, is the green-red big stuff, but also the very rare times I've played red, it's usually like a splash in like a Grixis deck or something. And I've never actually resolved the Razorkin trigger, so I got a little stun lock there for a second. I was like, wait, do I want to exile the top card of my library? Yeah, I do. Okay, so things are looking all right. They were getting a little dire there when they played Sarn and then drew 3 cards? 2 cards? 3 cards? Something. I guess probably 2, because they're at 24 and I don't think I've done any damage to them. But Archivist was a good draw. Even though I'm not, like, terribly concerned about Quint's Insight in the green-white deck. I'm just a little confused. Like, are we splashing Quint's Insight? Surely they're splashing something else. All right. So they decided to just go with land and exile their Gororel. And that does put 2 creatures into play for Sarn. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, so is there anything we get to attack with? So if I play, I mean, obviously I'm playing one of these things. I would like to be able to tap the Archivist, right, so that I could web Zan, but that is a tough sell. So I think I'm just gonna play the Favored Fighter. Yes, I would like to take that action. All right, sick. Now I get to play an Arachnologist as well. I don't get to attack with anything yet, though. So, Favored Fighter can't be blocked by more than 1, which is good. Oh, it's looking like they have, yeah, Perilous Lunge, okay. Yeah, I feel like the likelihood of them getting 2 creatures into play this turn is pretty low. Alright, cool, cool. So if I play Zan and the Lizards go up to a 4/6, well, they still don't get to attack now, huh? Okay, so yeah, still not going to be able to find a way to tap the Selesnya Archivist, so I think I'm just going to play Zan. I will take that action. Alright, land, that's unfortunate. We're going to be pretty thin on lands by the end of this, right? Do they have a Surveil land? They do. I just saw the mouse over one of their lands and it made me think, okay, so what are we looking to draw? Through the Omenpaths, obviously good. Xecau, obviously good. Temple Trap does kill the Sarn, which is sort of the issue I'm having. Dreadfang would be good, because goodish. It would be a 5/4. But yeah, mainly we just want to draw big stuff. In Web Dudes, the Cluster Clutter wouldn't be bad either, because we could tap Arachnologist and then play the Cluster Clutter. We're getting almost to a point where we can just attack with everything. I mean, they would have had 2 blockers. They would have eaten one of my dudes, and I would have hit for like 8. Okay, so Workforce, they're going to start. So they didn't want to... Oh, Temple Trap was a great draw. So they didn't want to put counters on that. Temple Trap's an even better draw because it costs 5 or more. Okay, hopefully they don't have Spectacular Tactics or something. Because if they don't, this is going to be... this is going to be pretty spooky. If they do, though... Yes, okay, great. Why didn't they attack with the robots last turn? Interesting. I think I'm just gonna do this. This. And I'm wondering if I attack with the Razorkin too. Probably not, right? But anything else I'm okay with trading off for one of their 2/2s? Actually, the Razorkin, yeah, we'll just do it this way. Okay. So the only Wrath in the format is black, so I think we're fine to run out the Workforce. They double block the Arachnologist, that's fine. I did not really need 2 of them. Oh, Sudden Strike to get rid of Zan. Okay. Good. Alright, happy enough to get the last card out of their hand, get rid of one of their dudes. I'll play the Workforce, so we're going to be pumping our Workforces. Trail of Teacups, oh jeez. Now, is that just one of the ones you... No. creature cards in your graveyard, not just one of the ones you mill. So they milled a 4 power, and they already had a 3 power. So 4 power, and they kill my Razorkin. 2, 3, 4, 5. So they have the mana to surveil, but not pump their workforce. Something's going to get +2/+2 next turn. So let's see. They can attack for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're probably surveilling. We do this. That's 4, 7, 9, 14. If they don't block. Would have liked a big spell, but okay. Well, yeah, definitely would have liked a big spell, right? We've got 10 lands in play, 11. So we had only 6 lands left in our deck out of 16 cards. All right. They kept. I wasn't paying attention, but I think the Grow Extra Arms was part of their mill. So them keeping is really, really scary, given the board state here, because they pump that to 6, 7, 8. I guess that's a fine keep. I'm confused. Okay. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna attack. So if they kept the workforce back, I mean, I guess they were in rough shape no matter what, and they're just attacking, hoping I click through attacks or something? I don't know. I guess. But if they kept the workforce back, they would have had to chump with their 1/1 flyers, but their workforce could have eaten one of my things, and they would have chumped my workforce with one of their 1/1s. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. 1-1. Or 2-0 rather, not 1-1. Alright, on to round 3 against Brad Swan. Or maybe it's a swan named Brad? Not Bran, Brad. Who knows? So we got a couple of Death Flame Bursts, Razorkin and Trail of Teacups. Okay, that's not bad. Razorkin into Trail of Teacups is reasonable. Although Teacups, like, without already having things in the yard, can brick. Right, so it's you mill 5, and then you need the condition of like milling a creature and having it mill a creature big enough to kill one of your opponent's things. So I'm not in a hurry to play the Teacups right away. Oh yeah, we're just gonna Death Flame Burst Gloria here. So they're not gonna get any value because they already played the land. Excuse me, sorry. And yeah, let's get that thing off the table. So Dreadfang is of course good. I don't think Cam and Ferric is very good. The question is, do we burst their 3/3 Weaver? I think we do, right? Like, that's just kind of a big Leyline Weaver, and it also is a ramp creature. They're down to 3 cards in hand. We have another removal spell, although, as mentioned, it's sort of a sketchy removal spell. Boy. The hits keep coming. Okay, so now it's like, do we Teacups and hope to kill Krobel? Obviously, I would like to kill Krobel, but I think we let them get another counter and surveil off. Because I want the value off the Razorkin, if nothing else. So, like, even if we break off the Teacups and we don't get to kill Krobel. Oh, that's the one they're attacking with. Okay, that's going to make it even harder. So, what are our hits? What do we have? That's 5 power. Also, we're already down to 6, which is pretty well. So we could play Dreadfang and Physic? I don't think so. I think it's got to be Trail of Teacups, and we have to hit the 6/7 Trample Haste dude, which we did not. So can I see this? Okay, so it's Clutter Cluster. All right. Oh man. That's unfortunate. Okay. So we scoop, right? Because Crowbull is going to attack for 6. Yeah. All right. Well. Oh, that was a beating. Gloria, Leyline Weaver, and what is it, Cam and whatever. I don't think any... That Cam is a terribly good card, but he got it done there. Quite an aggressive draw. And we were also kind of dirtling. I don't know. 2 Deathflame Bursts. So I could have let them keep the 3/3 Leyline Weaver and played out the Razorkin instead, and then I would have Deathflame Bursted Crowbull? I don't know. On to game 4, though. Trapjaw 81. Alright, so what do we got? This is a little rough. This hand is very slow. It has no red mana. We're on the play. So what are we hoping to draw here? Mountains and or cheap creatures. This is a really sketchy keep, but we've thrown the Omenpath in our hand, and if we can cast it, that'd be good. Okay, I will say definitively that forest is not what we were hoping to draw. Mountains would have been fine. Small green creatures. Here we go. Eccentric Arachnologist. That is a card that I wanted to draw. Although, as mentioned, it doesn't really ramp us any faster than any other creature into through the Omenpath, but that's okay. The fact that our opponent didn't do anything on turns 1 and 2, or huge, or 3, hell yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and attack. Alright, they're just not doing anything. We'll play out the favored fighter. The treasure there is huge. So we can play Xecau next turn, right? That's our 2 red, and then we'll have 5 others. So we could play Xecau next turn, or we just keep the treasure and play through the Omenpath the turn after. Wow, and we drew the red source. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and crack the treasure. Let's get Xecau out there. Temple Trap's a good draw. Triggers Xecau. Yeah. That was a very, very sketchy keep on our part, but it is paid off in the fact that we drew reasonably well. I mean, I guess drawing a mountain. I think we drew 2 forests, which wasn't great, but... Oh, and we drew the Arachnologist. So we drew reasonably well, and our opponent's draw was kind of stumbling. I could just Convoke out through the Omenpath here, or I could Temple Trap the Favored Fighter. What could they have? Oh, they could have the... No, the Rhino's Rampage doesn't do it. Seemed like they were thinking about killing our Xecau somehow, but I'm not really sure how that would have happened. Alright, let's just go ahead and kill this thing. I'm really not sure what they're representing here. I mean, I guess they could have grow extra legs, yeah. It's interesting. I would like to see their hand and see what it was they were thinking about. Alright, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can just play through the Omenpath next turn and not have to tap Xecau. So I think our opponent is quite dead. And I feel like even if they play a creature that I could Deathflame Burst and win with, I think for style points, you kind of have to play through the Omenpath, right? And give them 1 extra turn. Who knows? All day. I don't know. I hate this like emote system because I was trying to be good natured about it, but that could come off as being an asshole. Now, if I hit them with that bomb after they play their 4/3, that would certainly come out as being an asshole. All right, so yeah, they've got Perilous Lunge. Okay, so they kill that. So, yeah, okay. I'll just Flame Burst and end the game. As much as I would have liked to have played through the Omenpaths, not in the business of risking something terrible happening. It'd be hard to imagine a series of cards that would get my opponent back in the game, but... Alright, cool. 3-1. Let's see if we can get a 4-win out of this.